Let's go, Quaxly. Got it. Woo! Come on, Quaxly. Hey, you. Yes, you. When Professor Cool / Professor Clavel presented the starters for Scarlet and Violet in front of you, you didn't hesitate, did you? You grabbed your Fuecoco or your Sprigatito and went on your way. Didn't even take a second look at this Quaxly lad. Really, it felt like even beyond the games, Quaxly was getting the short end of the stick. But I would imagine for the people that chose Quaxly and like Quaxly, they probably felt a little bit like Quaxly felt when you didn't choose him. Bummed, sad, left out, a little bit like Goldar in the Power Rangers series. I mean, he's always playing second fiddle to Lord Zed and Rita. It's just not right. It doesn't sit right with me, and it probably doesn't sit right with Goldar. Today, we will be taking this pissed off duck, giving it a competitive build while building a team around it, and today will always be remembered as the day that Quaxly almost achieved Master Ball rank. Now, let's get one thing very clear before we begin all this ridiculousness. I did not achieve Master Ball rank with Quaxly. I did, however, get agonizingly close multiple times, and it drove me absolutely insane. You see, in order to achieve the highest rank in the Pokemon VGC, I would have to go through ridiculously powered mons like Iron Hands, Ogerpon, Urshifu. There are just a ridiculous amount of very overpowered Pokemon in the current meta. And what do I have, you may ask? Well, buddy, I got a Quaxly. And a hope and a dream. Okay, let's go over the rules really quick. It's not gonna take long. Okay, rule number 1, Quaxly in every battle. I think this one's kind of obvious, but it would be kind of cheap if I just had 5 awesome Pokemon and a Quaxly and just never used it and said I got to Master Ball rank with Quaxly. That's not gonna happen. Quaxly every battle. Okay, rule number 2, no overpowered Pokemon. I'm gonna keep my team light and simple, nothing crazy. I don't want to overdo the thing, and it's just way more satisfying to do it with underused Pokemon.
The first thing you do when you start a band is
figure out what the hell Quaxly's role is gonna be. After taking a look at Quaxly's stats, it becomes clear to me that my options are either completely shit and or limited. So Gerald, our Quaxly here, needs to hit hard and perhaps find a way to stall out opponents for a turn. Gerald has a secret weapon though, and that's his ability, Torrent. You've heard of it before, powers up water moves in a pinch. Just throw a focus sash on Quaxly and you're about to do some damage. But before getting into battling, it's time to max out Quaxly's EVs and IVs so it's competitive ready. The problem is, team building from scratch is quite the process, and quite the expensive process if you're just doing it from scratch and not doing it in the wild. So I went over to Chansey Supply and bought all the vitamins necessary to get Quaxly where he needed to be. This all adds up to 53 vitamins, which that sounds reasonable. Let's take a look at how much that costs. $530,000 for a Quaxly. This means that I'll be spending roughly $530,000, I guess Poké dollars, for each Pokemon on this team. And spoiler alert, I made 6 Pokemon for this team. I actually ended up bringing along a few members from my previous Master Ball team. Unfortunately, I had much better results with them than the Pokemon that I spent all this money on. The team I assembled around Quaxly was just way too water dependent, and I didn't have enough counters for other Pokemon. And this team that I assembled, which I ended up using a grand total of 2 of, what is that, $530,000 times 6? That's a total of $3,180,000. I better get to Master Ball rank. Let's quickly go over the Pokemon that I actually use from this group. Obviously Gerald, here's his moveset, here's what he does. But let's move on to probably the MVP of the team, if we're being honest. This would be Polysnow, the Politoed. You heard that correctly, so here's our plan. Obviously Politoed is gonna have Drizzle so that Quaxly can do his thing. But my idea is to give this Politoed the wide lens. I know, I'm crazy. And teach it Blizzard and do some breeding so I can teach it Muddy Water. I need to maximize damage while I can, and hitting 2 Pokemon at once does the trick. And I give him the Dragon Terra so I can survive grass and electric attacks. The Blizzard just catches others off guard quite frequently, and it's a big help getting to where I got. Okay, let's now take a look at the primary team we use here. I'm bringing my Iron Fist Palmot. It punches stuff. That's what it does. Okay. We've got an Assault Vest to Titan that just absolutely eats special and really physical attacks. And he's carrying the Heavy Slam coverage that just absolutely obliterates fairy types, including Fluttermane. Rounding it out here, we've got Mimikyu in the 5th spot. Disguise is always a bonus when you've got a team with a Quaxly on it. The Grass Terra and Rocky Helmet help out a lot too. Last, but definitely not least, maybe least just based on footage time in this video, is the Clawwitzer. So this is going to be our primary team. Let's go through some growing pains. Obviously, there was a lot of switching out early on with the initial group. It did take me quite a long time to get there, but once I settled on this final team, the beginner and Pokeball stages went by very, very easily. I was just trying to figure out whichever Pokemon had any synergy with Quaxly at all, and just ran with that. The beginning stages of my growth, however, did produce some of my favorite moments in this Quaxly challenge. Oh my God! Including being on the receiving end of probably the most painful attack that any Quaxly has ever received. Heavy Slam probably fucks Quaxly up real bad. That's not good. Oh no! Don't Heavy Slam Quaxly, no! Oh no! Heavy Slam. No, I don't want to continue fucking battling. I just got my ass kicked. It weighs a clean 700 pounds more than Quaxly. Good sweet God. And the Quaxly kills. Those were great too. There were a lot of Quaxly kills. So we finally entered the Great Ball stage, and that didn't take too long. Let's just see how many matches I played. Holy shit. Everyone look away, please. I'm sorry, okay? I have very little experience and I'm fighting with a Quaxly. But during my time in the endless void that is the Great Ball tier, I'm constantly reminded of something very important. I don't need to have a good win-loss record in order to advance to the Ultra Ball tier. What I do need is a hot streak and a little bit of luck. You see, unlike the Ultra Ball rank, which consists of 1 tier, the Great Ball rank consists of 3. But it seems like the more wins you stack in a row, the further the Pokemon VGC algorithm seems to send you up the ladder. This means that if I can get about halfway up the 3 Great Ball tiers, I probably only need 3, maybe 4 wins in a row for the algorithm to shoot me up to Ultra, at which point I'm confident I'll make it to Master Ball. Getting myself above the Great Ball tier feels like climbing a mountain. But once I get to Ultra Ball tier, if I can just get lucky for a couple matches, which does happen with this weird team that I'm playing in, then I feel really confident that I can get there. This is why advancing through the Great Ball tiers is so important, and why the sequence of battles that I'm finally about to show you were so agonizingly close to getting me over the finish line that I cry myself to sleep at night. Let's do it. So we start off with my guy Jasper here, who's running a lot of scary Pokemon, and I'm immediately up against it. But even staring down the Chin-Pow, Iron Hands, and Rillaboom, I think I got a chance here. I leave Polysnow to get the rain up and hopefully land a sneaky Blizzard, along with Palmot to punch stuff if necessary. I bring Houdini the Mimikyu to cause problems with disguise and physical attacks, and of course Gerald the Quaxly is along for the ride too. He leads Rillaboom and Galarian Zapdos, and I know Galarian Zapdos is part fighting type, but at this point, it's been so long since Sword and Shield, I forgot it was a flying type too. I sense the opportunity to Terra Dragon and Blizzard with Polysnow, and go for it. I just protect with Palmot to scout what Jasper wants to do, and it works out great as he goes for the fake out acrobatics combo, looking for a kill on Palmot. It's time to do some damage. So Wide Lens comes up clutch there, and I go for another Blizzard right after that turn, expecting a physical attack. So I'm going into Mimikyu, hit the Rocky Helmet. Okay, probably not enough for the Blizzard, but that was the idea. Then Polysnow lives in acrobatics like a champion, and here comes the other Blizzard. Damn it. And of course I missed the Rillaboom, but Zapdos is down, only to be replaced by another beast in Iron Hands. And we all know there's only one way to counter the Iron Hands switch, with the duck. That's Quaxly. So we bring in Quack the Ripper and it's party time. Rillaboom's fake out goes straight into a protect, and Jasper makes potentially the biggest mistake of his life. He U-turns on Quaxly, taking Rillaboom off the battlefield and putting Gerald in torrent range. In the rain. but he switches into Chin-Pao, and this is truly a standoff of a lifetime between 4 incredibly powerful Pokemon. I go ahead and muddy water with Polysnow, knowing it's fine if he's knocked out, and protect with the Quack Boy. He goes for the protect with Chin-Pao, which is lovely. That's why you muddy water, folks. And I'm able to land a muddy water on Iron Hands. He gets some health back with the Drain Punch, but I'm happy with the accuracy drop, and like I said, Polysnow going down is fine. But unfortunately, because of the grassy terrain, Quaxly is now above his Torrent health range. He's at 35% now, but we remain confident and bring in Palmont, the pink boy. I end up protecting with Palmont when I probably should have just attacked the Chin-Pao. We just got a protect party going on here. But then of course go for the Quaxly laser beam on Iron Hands. He switches out the Chin-Pao, probably trying to predict a close combat. Let's see how that turns out for him. Got him! Woo! That's a huge one. Let's fucking go! Well, that was fantastic. But out comes the Chin-Pao to lower everyone's defense again. And I'm very scared that a grassy glide from Rillaboom takes me out. But I risk the close combat and protect with Quaxly. The fake out puts me in a bad spot, but fortunately Palmont lives the incoming Sacred Sword. Shit. I decide to switch out Quaxly, hoping for some Rocky Helmet damage. I have to hope that this is the grass move. Not only do I get the grass move there, but I dodge a bullet with the Sucker Punch that would have killed Quaxly. Very nice. I know the threat of Sucker Punch is there, but I'm feeling reckless, and I go for damage with both Pokemon. Mimikyu goes down, but I take out the Rillaboom, and we're about to witness another classic Quaxly standoff here. So we bring in the legend, but we are far from out of the woods here. I know he can Sucker Punch to kill either slot, so I opt to attack with Palmont and Quaxly. I do this instead of protecting on Palmont because, believe it or not, if Quaxly goes down, I will lose this battle on a Sucker Punch to Palmont. But if I double attack, I could kill with close combat and maybe pull off a miracle with Hydro Pump. I absolutely should protect on Palmont here and go for an attack with Quaxly, knowing he's probably going to Sucker Punch the Palmont, but I'm going for it. And we really need a miracle from Quaxly here. Come on, Quaxly, crit me! Woo! Boom. Oh yeah. Jasper, you idiot. I don't mean it. You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy. That's a huge win right there. We're getting close to 100, but we're on the right path. So we pop in the middle of rank 8. Shit. 2 battles before reaching 100 overall, but again, for whatever reason, I'm feeling confident. We're looking at a team with Urshifu, Ogerpon, and a whole host of other beasts, but I've got a feeling I might finally break through to Ultra Ball tier tonight. And this, folks, is truly the definition of insanity. I end up with a very similar team than the one before, but I'm bringing Mimikyu and Cetitan for physical damage. So my opponent leads with Ogerpon and Chin-Pao, which is unfortunate because I sort of picked this team expecting a Grimmsnarl lead. You know, I have the play rough coverage on Cetitan for this team. But Chin-Pao lowers everyone's defense, Polysnow gets up the rain, and we're off. I go for the safe play here and protect the frog and heavy slam the Chin-Pao. I know that I can most likely live a Sacred Sword on the Cetitan side and guess the obvious grass attack on the Polysnow. I end up getting the prediction right, and this should be an easy kill, but, well, of course it's sashed. But I'm still in a good position here. I go ahead and tear a Polysnow to try and absorb some damage while firing off another Blizzard, and then switch into our king, Gerald the Quaxly. There we go, Quaxly. Get in there, buddy. I get the Horn Leech prediction right, but a Chin-Pao Protect allows it to stay on the field. Annoying. I then switch Polysnow out for Mimikyu, expecting a physical move on Houdini's side, and I really hate the dumbass look on Chin-Pao's face, so I go for an Aqua Jet. That's not good. Unfortunately, he does switch into Grimmsnarl's ugly ass, and then rips the Water Terra on Shrek. All things considered, I only lose my disguise and I end up getting damage on both Pokemon. Not too bad. Now, I've got the Wood Hammer coverage that not many expect. I've also got Rain up and a Grimmsnarl at 70-ish health. I'm expecting some sort of screen action from Grimmsnarl. I'm gonna throw up a screen or some dumb shit. So I decide it's time to bring the guns out. Grimmsnarl, it turns out, is not a very big fan of guns or cannons. And a Reflect doesn't help with a Hydro Pump to the face, as you can see here. And the Wood Hammer does quite a bit of damage to the Ogerpon, even with the Reflect up. And yes, you did just see a Quaxly kill a Grimmsnarl in a competitive match. And I bet you didn't see Quaxly being the first Pokemon in this battle to get a kill, did you? Did ya? So I really risk it on this turn, and Gerald dies from a spiky shield after I'm feeling cocky and go with an Aqua Jet. Unfortunate. But I thank Quaxly for his service, and Mimikyu barely lives a Wind Bolt Storm and gets some chip off on the Thundurus. I bring in Polysnow because of the defense Dragon Terra, and I know I've got to kill the Ogerpon to have a chance here. I realize that a Mimikyu Kamikaze is my only option, and send out a Blizzard in case I see a switch for some reason. The Dragon Terra comes up very clutch on a Hornleech here, and I am causing serious problems for this guy. Oh my god, Ogerpon. Get the fuck out of here. The last Pokemon is Chinpow, and it doesn't know any cheap spiky shield bullshit, so I should be just fine here. And we wrap up the win. Let's go. Yay! That's a W. Get me back to Great Ball 9, please. I gotta let my dog out, so I'm gonna quit battling. What am I thinking? Damn it, I really wanted that to go through 9. Okay, so I'm feeling good. I've just won a match. I know I'm 2, maybe 3 wins away from getting to Ultra Ball rank and putting myself in position to finally end this challenge and move on with my life. But of course, I see my rival Urshifu, and he's brought a bunch of powerful friends too. Now I know the importance of this match. Like I said before, if you start stacking wins in a row, you're gonna be going places. So I'm absolutely sweating out my team selection here. I decide to prioritize the Urshifu and lead Polysnow and Mimikyu. This would give me the Play Rough and Trick Room options for Urshifu, but only if my Mimikyu is faster than him. I'm thinking this might come into play immediately, but he leads Kilowattrel and Dragapult. I go ahead and hit the Dragon Terra early, along with a Blizzard and a Trick Room, knowing that a Tailwind is probably coming. We get the U-turn from Dragapult. Wisely U-turns. Now what we see next is the Hisuian Arcanine, who has been absolutely dominating the meta and intimidating both myself and my Pokemon. But a Volt Switch from Kilowattrel sets up an interesting double switch / scout strategy, as of course the motherfucker Urshifu comes in. Obviously a Muddy Water would have been timely for Polysnow here, but we got our Trick Room up. Did I get that up? And that's huge. Okay. And good lord, never has a Politoed and Mimikyu combo against an Urshifu and Hisuian Arcanine combo looked so good. I think I have to Muddy Water your Wood Hammer. All up on this guy. With the attack drop, got it. Oh, crit, that might have helped a lot. Yes, I would say the crit helped a lot there. And of course, Muddy Water just absolutely drowns poor Arcanine. But boy, oh boy, was that turn satisfying. Just watching Urshifu having its world turned upside down is a joy to watch. The rest of the opponent's team are littered with speed, so we should be good the rest of the way. And good sweet lord, imagine having your Urshifu team swept. Perfect. It's time to bring in our friend. And then your opponent brings in a Quaxly just to finish you off. Rough. This is a rough one to lose. And goodbye. Wow. That's gonna put me in a good spot. Oh, I did not mean to hit that. But that's good. That's good. Let's go. Oh my god, are we 1 win away? From Ultra? Stop! Stop! Stop the video. If you've made it this far, thank you, I love you, and I wish there was something else that I could tell you. On my 101st battle, the next battle in this sequence, I end up losing, making a bunch of misplays, and this Galarian Moltres just ended my entire life. After this loss, the spirits were just way down. I ended up getting to the same point a couple times after this, midway through tier 9 of the Great Ball rank, probably just 1 win away with all the momentum I had previously from advancing to Ultra Ball, but I lost all 3 times. And I've just had enough. I really wish I could continue doing this challenge, finishing this video in its actual entirety, but like I said before, I was going absolutely insane. And with the current results the way they are, there's really not a satisfying way for me to end this video. Unless, of course, I finished and got to Master Ball rank. But the Indigo DLC is already out. The complete meta has changed, and life has gone on. So unfortunately, I have to end the video here. If you did enjoy the video, please give it a like, think about subscribing. If you didn't enjoy the video, please leave a dislike and a very hateful comment. Just to wrap this whole thing up and give you an idea of where I was at mentally and psychologically by the end of this challenge, about 135 battles in, I'm gonna play a clip after a really late loss. I don't think it was in the 130s, but it was close to it. And you can just sense how down I was and how ready I was to finish this challenge or just move on. Thank you again for watching. You are the best, and have a wonderful day. Just giving up the ship right now. Anybody wants to beat me? Have at it. Yeah.